Now, let's get into their layers.
They don't really have layers.
Yeah, so I guess we're saying, like, where do they reside?
The 9 hells.
Obviously, it'd be in the 9 hells, but they can also be found anywhere on the material plane because
living like normal lives. Yep.
Yeah, because they have that ability to just go there whenever they want. So you can find them anywhere, right? They don't have to be summoned, and so they'll be anywhere they want to be. So that's a really good way. Obviously, that's helpful when you're trying to incorporate devils in your campaign. If you have a devil that can do anything they want, that's helpful. You don't need to like explain the cult.
Yeah, even like the archdevils respect them so much. They're like, yeah, just do whatever you want. Just when I need you, just make sure you're coming here. And so like, okay.
Yeah.
And they might just go to like some like random tavern in the material plane, just drink and.
Now, yes, but they're like, they're businesswomen, businessmen. They do their thing. So like they're not gonna be. They'll either be engaging in the pleasures that they like, or they will be doing their job. They're not necessarily going to be doing anything else.
That's true.
So there's that. So material plane, there's nothing specific to say. But in the 9 hells, there are actually some specific places they are. And all of them are very different. And to go into each one would be like... It'd be like 5 episodes in itself, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll just list them off, and then at some point you can just like connect this episode with the episode on these places. But there's some interesting places. So one of them is Dis. That's the place of Dispeter, the one I mentioned before. They also guard Levistus's frozen tomb.
That's a rip place. Yeah, they're kind of like jailers there. Yeah.
Yeah. So guards again. They also stay in Maladomini. I believe that's the place that's like
gold. Isn't it the place with like the rocks that just go like?
I think it might be.
Yeah, it's like literally the place where like you could just get squashed at any moment, but like you don't really know. But
that's a fun place. Yeah, and then they stay in Glacius Court, which there's one city. It might be Glacius Court where like you cannot get weapons in. It's all about politics.
Yeah, literally you cannot harm people, physically harm them. You have to get your way around with politics and like manipulation.
Yeah,
which is why really they actually use pleasure there, their beauty, to get their way around to get what they want there.
Yeah, that's why they're there. They're very good being there. Good. Now, this again, I don't know for sure if that is Glacius Court. So just forget connecting that to any of the words I'm saying. But the last place that they are in general is Malbolge. I don't know anything about this.
Isn't that like the big bank?
Might be. I have no idea.
They're also in Avernus, too.
My lore knowledge can only hold so much at a time.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they're also in Avernus, though. That's the first layer, I believe.
Yeah, these are just big cities that they're at. Yeah. But they can be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, most devils are in Avernus, though. So, and that's how you get to hell. First Lairs is a giant battlefield. Literally just chaos.
Yeah.
While they just chill. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to do an episode just like walking through the 9 hells.
Yep.
That would be fun. Okay. Do you have anything on Lairs?
No, I'm done.
Okay, you're done.
Yeah.
Then let's get into combat strategies.
I literally made an entire literal scenario for this part.
Do you think it'd go good before or after we kind of go through, outline it? All right, how about you give the example and then I'll break it down.
Okay, so basically, imagine there's a party, right? There's a barbarian, there's a fighter, and there's a cleric, and there's, a sorcerer, right? So basically, the Erinyes will always be flying.
Okay.
Right? So they will always fly in combat. So they will be flying around, dodging, and shooting all the people to get them poisoned. They want that poison effect to happen. They probably want to target the cleric first to get rid of his lesser restoration spell slots. So before she gets into physical combat, she will use her range and flight ability to outmaneuver all of them and to poison them. Once the cleric and wizard drop low, and if the barbarian's being very stubborn with his constitution saving throw, she will just pelt him with arrows until he fails. Once he fails, he is poisoned unless he gets healed.
Yep.
And once they do get poisoned, that's when they use their melee attacks if they run out of arrows. Which they will always be flying. They'll dart in and they'll slash at the strongest opponents first.
Yeah.
Or the spellcasters, because spells don't really affect them that much. They're immune to a lot of things. And you might think, and then they'll dart away, so they are out of reach. But you're thinking, like, what about their opportunity attacks? The reason why they go after the melee is because they can use their parry ability and just parry their opportunity attack. So then they have to get through a 22 armor class, which is insane.
Yeah.
And if you give if you give one of them a shield, which you could totally do, that's a 24 armor class.
Yeah.
So literally insane. So that's how they fight. They literally dive down, they cut with their sword, they attack with their sword, and they fly away. And they'll just parry that one attack, and the fighter and the barbarian can't reach them. And the spellcasters, also, their spells don't really work on them because they're resistant or just completely immune to most spell attacks.
Yeah.
So they're very tough.
Yes, they're very tough. So yeah, that's good. So to just summarize that really. So they are tactical. They're very smart. And so if you have a situation in which there's a smart way to do something, they would do it. So give them that. But in general, like you said, they're in the air. They start in the air. They actually will use magic first if they have any.
If they will always summon demons if they have that, or devils. Sorry, devils. If they have that ability.
Yeah, if they have that ability, they'll do magic, whatever, and then they'll start pelting arrows to get them poisoned. That's stage 2. Stage 3 is once everyone's poisoned, or if it just isn't working as well as it could be, they'll swoop down, strike with 3 attacks, and then leave. And if the opportunity attack hits, they'll parry it.
Which they're at disadvantage because of the poison.
And so really,
it's almost nearly impossible to hit them.
Yeah, they're just gonna be so tough, and they're just gonna make you worse and worse at fighting by poisoning you, and hitting you down and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I mean that's really it. Let's see what else I got. I guess they do prefer night. And they actually don't have this on their stat block, but at one point they had dark vision. So that's like a variant thing you could give them. But they prefer night either way.
I mean, don't they have true sight, though?
They have true sight.
So
I guess
really
that
matter.
Oh, right. That's true. That is
they could
dark
literally
vision.
just see. They can see the darkness.
So they prefer night because that's strategic still. Yeah. Oh, and I guess one last thing besides. So they do magic, they do arrows, they do melee by swooping. The last thing I would say is that they don't retreat if they are under orders, because they are strictly loyal. So if they have an order to go fight these people or whatever, they will not retreat, because they'll fight to the death. They'll do their duty, and that's it. Now, if they're not there for any duty, they will run away if you start to beat them. But yeah, that's them. I mean, they're just so hard to hit that they're gonna wear you down. You know what I mean? Even though their poison DC isn't super high, they're gonna wear you down at some point. Like, you know what I mean? So you're gonna have to pull out some big guns to take this girl or guy down.
Yeah, and the thing is, they also go in packs too. Normally, they pull up the squad,
right?
And then all of them summon devils, and then it's like 20v4.
That quickly becomes a level 20 fight.
Yeah, and then if you're that DM, and that's how you make your players cry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And when it comes to combat, emphasize pain. Like, they want to hurt you. They're not here to just get a swift victory. They're not necessarily going to torture you yet. They'll torture you in hell. But, like, they're not going to be nice about what they do, right? Like, they'll not only be, like, aggressive and, like, angry, like, like, they'll, like, be pumped up and, like, ready to, like, just bite into your flesh. But, like, they're going to really, like, they use these weapons that are not, they're brutal. They're serrated swords, right? They're not clean. They just want to.
Yeah. Or they can use, like, spears. Halberds.
Their arrows are, like, barbed arrows. Like, everything is meant to just be more painful than it needs to be.
Their gauntlets freaking have spikes on them so they can punch you to death.
Right. So really emphasize the pain they're inflicting. Like, if you get cut with their sword, describe it less of like a clean cut and more of like a bunch of anchors just pulling chunks of meat out of you. You know what I mean? Because it's serrated.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, ugh.
Or also, if they have the rope of entanglement, they're gonna be like entangling one person, and someone else is gonna go down, and just hack that person away, or bring them to hell. You know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's kind of their combat strategies.
Yeah, we're being very concise this episode.
Yeah.